Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new play-by-play video. Today we're going to be playing some Osiris. I've got a tier list video coming out this upcoming weekend, of course, and I'll also have a top 5 gods video coming out either this weekend or a little bit afterwards. So stay tuned for both of those. Thank you guys as always for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we're going to give this a go. We'll be going Shifter Shield, Phoenix Shield, Stone of Binding, Oni Hunter's Garb, and probably like a Spectral or something. I don't really know quite yet what I'll be building, but something along those lines, ability-based, mitigations-centric, defensive Osiris, and it should be quite good. So super excited to give it a go. I haven't played this character, honestly, in a little bit, so I am, yeah, a little bit excited to just try it again and do something a little bit different, because I think the cloak builds are unfortunately kind of a thing of the past. No, they're not like completely gone, but it might just be better to be building a little bit differently now with some of the nerfs that it's seen. So we'll see how this feels and kind of go off of it. We're laning against the Kukulkan, still top character in the meta right now, so pretty common lane opponent to see. And in this matchup, what we really just want to do is just kind of space from him when he's going into his beast form, which is right about now. And he'll be jumping some of our abilities. We kind of just have to concede some pressure, wait a little bit, and then once he's out of his beast form, we can actually look to fight him. But yeah, for the time being, just kind of playing passive, not really losing our health bar when we know we can't win the fights. And yeah, sort of chilling out. We'll sort of guarantee we get into a good spot afterwards. Of course, we're going to lose a little bit of this pressure, as a result. That's totally expected and fine. Get for some autos here. And now that I have my passive and whatnot, keep going for some. Force him out, back up again. And yeah, now it's a free totem. So literally just keeping our health bar up, staying safe. And then the moment he begins to get a little bit weaker, we just take that fight. We'll get some poke off here, run away. And I recommend maxing the 2 on this character just because it's better buff secure. It's also a little bit more range. You can max the 1 if it's just a lot more volatile, harder to hit, and obviously way weaker secure because it does have damage to minions and stuff, or 75%, something like that. It does a reduced amount is the point, so you don't necessarily have great secure if you do level that first, which is still okay, but just something to think about. We can do this camp here. We see the Bastet on right, so this is super safe and free. And with this, we'll be hitting level 4. He's just doing a quick reset. Not super shocking, was definitely low. And yeah, we're in a commanding spot to start this lane. Also get wave clear prio on this, so I can probably just do this other neutral very easily. Looks like he's, okay, he is TPing. He's probably getting a chalice in tier 2 of his item or something. No, just the item. So he sold his health pots, went tier 2, shifter shield here most likely, and that's that. So cool. I mean, nothing too shocking. He is stronger than us build-wise right now, but he doesn't have potions. So if we can just kind of poke him, play a little bit safe, again, wait for that beast form to run out, and then look for the fight, we should be pretty okay. Just space away from his 1 right there, get our own 2 off, and then kind of just chill out. In these spots where he's TP'd back and we obviously haven't expended ours, if we can fight him a little bit without obviously dying, and just take like somewhat even bad trades, it's going to be really good for us because I'm going to be able to reset with a full health bar and everything, and he's obviously not going to be able to, at least efficiently. Now, he might still back, but he won't be able to get like as much value as I'm going to be getting off my back. So it's really good if I can just like take some safe trades that really don't have any risk of me dying in them. And I actually went the wrong tier 1. I was supposed to go the other tier 1. I just realized I did not do that. Whoops. Okay, it's a bit of a wrench. It's okay though. I think we're fine. I'll have to figure something out now. So what do we want to build? I could go Glad Shield here still, and then just go into Phoenix. It is cooldown, and I do need cooldown. Shifters is really good. That's the problem. We'll get this totem though, and we'll figure it out in a second. We are ahead and stuff, so again, that's the same idea of just like, if we can fight him, run out some of his health bar and stuff like that, we should be pretty okay. Now it's a bit of a weird spot because I really should be backing. I'm going to back and just go into Glad Shield, I think. We'll stay a little longer and figure this out. Can back up here. This guy can't ever kill me. If he goes for me, I'll obviously just ult it or something. But yeah, he'll probably get some of these neutrals. It's a little bit unlucky. I kind of just screwed myself with how I built. Not that this build's even bad, but like, you know, I kind of went the wrong item, which is the unfortunate part. But we'll be all right. We'll go with phalanx here. This item's really good. It can still work. It's no problem. I'm gonna go phalanx just so I can afford a chalice. Then we'll go into a Phoenix shield shifter. So we're gonna go 3 shields this game. Why not? Yeah, we can call this like the shield build, and everyone's gonna imagine I did it intentionally. It's gonna be awesome. That's the plan. That's the idea. But yeah, normally you're supposed to rush shifters, and then you go Phoenix afterwards. Both have full items right now. I do have a chalice, though he doesn't. Phoenix shifters is so strong that it's gonna feel actually like pretty fine for him, despite me having like a really good trading item. And this guy is just dead. He's standing still because if he jumps, he's dead. But yeah, we literally just got around him a little bit, poked him out some, and then it's a super easy jungle gank. So always fun to see that. Tank the ult there, that's no problem, just so we can give him the kill. Had my ult and stuff ready in case I needed it, but it's really important I tank that, and I'm not gonna really waste an ult if I don't need to use it. So we got Phoenix, or we got Phalanx so far, excuse me, and yeah, we'll just kind of carry on with the build. I'm wondering now what I'm gonna adjust this to. I can go Phalanx. I'll probably sell this Phalanx late game, to be honest, because again, this was a mistake. I guess I can go like Phalanx, Phoenix shifters. I can still do those 3, and then I'll go like a dedicated magical defense item, like a Oni's, and then I can just go Pridwin last. I won't have binding with that build, which is a little unfortunate, but I think that's fine. Yeah, we'll probably do that. It's gonna be very fizz defense slated, but that's kind of okay because shifters and like just our mitigations and stuff, and the fact that it's like a Nuwa who really probably won't have our combo on us unless we're really like exceptionally diving her, which we just don't have to now. Should be kind of a non-issue, is the idea. Have my ult ready for this exact moment. I'll get ganked here, but oh, she does have ult. Wow. I'm shocked she has her ult up. I was gonna say she doesn't have her ult, we're totally fine. No, she already has it up. That's shocking. Okay, well, I have inted then. Too bad. Oh, he is very dead. Is he dead? He's not. Nice. Okay. Yeah, that was strange. I guess I nuked it. Too bad. That's all good. We'll go into Phoenix now. I really hate that, number one, these builds are not updated here. I don't really use popular, but you kind of use it sometimes as just like a, hey, like this is where my items are, let me just build them really quick. And it's like, this has never, like a build like this looks terrible. I mean, what even is this? You know what I mean? So, yeah, too bad. Nonetheless, though, we get Phoenix here. We'll go into a Glad Shield afterwards. I'm always going to mess saying that up. If you're like newer to this game and you don't understand, I'm so sorry. People who've played for a long time get what I'm saying, but if you don't, it's just like, I don't know. They gave the stats and passive of an old item to a new name, but they kept the old item with a different thing, so it's just all mucked up. It's just all mucked up. Their blue's coming up. I can still pressure it. You know, I got like aggressive that last fight, and I felt like I was totally fine because I had ult. The best play to do there, if I knew best that I was ult, was actually just to hold it. And when she looks for some CC, then I immune that, and then I, like with my ult, I just didn't do that because, quite frankly, I thought she didn't have it, so I'd be totally fine. I still was almost like able to survive that, but yeah, just a little bit of a mishap on my end. All good, though. We can pressure out his blue right now. I still think Phalanx is like a great trading item and stuff, and it's definitely strong, especially since realistically shifters will be getting nerfed like pretty hard probably, because it's way, way overtuned. So it's not bad to go this item if you do kind of like it. We'll ult out here. We're obviously going to get super pressured here, but we have a chance to live, so... Got our 2 off there. We have no help coming. This is spooky stuff. Probably just doomed. We're still alive for now. Does he die? No, not even. So close, dude. Hopefully this guy falls. I mean, they really committed a lot, yeah. So he is going to die for it. That's good, at least. A little bit unlucky. I mean, that was really a gross overcommitment. I feel like we should have been there sooner, but nonetheless, we still killed their jungler. It's still like a fine trade. And rip NMR, but that's alright. So yeah, we have this choice here. Do we want to go Phoenix Shield? Do we want to go this one? I can go Phoenix first. Again, it really doesn't matter considering I'm going both anyways. Shifters is obviously a little bit better for the magical aspect, like combined. But Phoenix is going to do me great in this laning phase, like when I'm just kind of getting chased by these two. We got their blue. We ended up trading one. Our stat line's not super pretty, but this is still a good spot. And we're ahead a level and a half. It's just kind of like jungle pressure, just because, like, you know, he's trying to make something happen on the map, but it doesn't actually really mean much that we're dying. So, who cares? Alright, we'll go get this blue here. And yeah, Shifters is our next course of action. I will say though, I'm pretty like happy with this Phalanx, even though I didn't mean to build it. It's really not so bad. I've got a lot of HP 5 right now. Excuse me, I had like a little voice crack there. I have a lot of HP 5 right now and stuff like that, so it's not terrible. That was awkward. All good though. He's coming back. He wants to be on YouTube. He needs the cameo. We're okay though. Like I said, once we started to get some more defense, like there's really no threat of us dying, I don't think. Try to get some healing off by just hitting them. We have pots and yeah. They're pathing topside, so right into our Wheelix, and hopefully they get something off there. This is the great value of going double fizz defense though, and why you do go Shifter's Glad or whatever you might be going, just so you can kind of avoid this, because he's really like stringently sticking to this fight. And yeah, am I maybe over fighting to some degree? You know, I guess so, but like if I'm forcing rotations and I'm not dying, like it's super strong. We're up 5k. I'm not saying just because of me Lairs is 10-1. That's pretty nice. You know, I'm up 1k though, which is nice, but when you're able to kind of like, even if you're dying, if you're able to force rotations that don't actually build leads, because we're seeing a lot of pressure coming in solo side, and you think about it, who's the engaged targets of that? The jungler and the soul laner, and somehow they're still extremely behind both of them, right? So if I can sit there and make the Bastet rotate over but die for it eventually after spending like 2 hours hitting me, I don't even care, you know what I mean? Which we were able to do. Now the first death, yeah, that was kind of just like our bad, and that wasn't good. By the way, Cuckoo, I guess, just TP'd or walked out of base to mid. I mean, it's unlucky that guy died, but this is like kind of okay. Yeah, they just sort of did a mini role swap. Alright. I'll just keep hitting the tower and kind of just, or Bastion, excuse me, and just kind of chill. It's fine by me. He might get that beacon. Again, it's a little bit unfortunate, but we did kind of have someone picked and not really are there. We aren't really there. Alright, we almost have enough for Shifters. 300 more gold, and we are finished with that. I wonder if there's like a mini role swap just because I don't have magical defense. That might be the move. It's not a bad idea if that's actually their plan. It's just that, to be honest, I don't really need to fight him ever, and he can't really ever fight me ever. If this was like a Thoth or something, yeah, it could be a little scarier, I guess, but I can also just kind of kill him. Or could kind of just kill him. He really is committing to this, staying solo and just role swapping. This is something special. Alright, fair enough. They have triple Shifters. They'll probably get 4 too. That is going to be exciting. We'll get it here, and then for second relic, I can go Thorns, Blink, Beads. All quite good. I'm going to go Thorns in this game because I don't really think I need Beads that much. And Blink is fine, but I also don't think I need Blink to get on their backline, so you can just start with getting on this guy here, though, and yeah, just TP over really swiftly. This thing, Nuwa will not be able to match us in that. Can ult on this guy. Not sure I can actually kill this Cuckoo, so I'll just switch to the Sylve. Awesome, good job. And I could kill Cuckoo, obviously, but I more so mean like in a timely fashion. That's a good job by him. Alrighty, well, had a good fight for ourselves. We can reset, go left here, probably lose that tower. It's all good. Start going that magical defense now. This obviously does give us some magical defense, so we're not like super hopeless. And you could also go Heartward here to really kind of buffer up your magical prots, but looking at Onis, we're getting mitigations in this, so that's pretty strong. We only have 10% cooldown with this build, and that's why last year, you know, considering I had went phalanx, us going binding isn't terrible by any means. You don't need that much cooldown because I could just get the blue mask and kind of be okay with that. But if I wanted to, going Pridwin here is smart last, going a Spirit Robe is smart last, just something with some cooldown is generally pretty smart. It's not needed, but that's probably the route I'm going to go down. Again, your cooldowns are really more centered around, will you have an ability up for Stunnering Axe? And the answer is going to be yes no matter what. So it's not that big of a deal, but having some more cooldown is just like feel good always on a character like this. I can just ult on this guy. Yeah, so, I mean, that's the thing. I might not really be able to, like, fight, I guess, like, the sustained dive fights as I would into a Cullen, because I don't have that much magical defense into this guy, but, like, I'm still able to just kind of force stuff, and that is not a good trade for him at all. We got his beads there and ultimate, obviously. We'll rotate back to this. This trade went kind of poor for us, but, like, we cannot lose this fight now once I show up. Pop Thorns here. Get some abilities off. We just kind of have to chill out for a second. And I can kind of just wait. Using our mitts and our passive and just like staying in that is generally speaking our best course of action when they're like strong on the fight. Oh, that's too bad. And then afterwards, you know, detonating that with an ultimate and then getting back into it and all that stuff tends to be pretty good. A lot of what these ability-based builds are kind of set to do is just sort of walking at people and surviving. Ability spamming, not really actually doing as much damage as we could, just so we could survive longer and then, you know, ultimately do more that way. It's a little awkward, I think, like if you're not used to it, but it's definitely super, super viable, strong. We got these stuns off here. I'll stand in front so they get stunned. Back out in a second. Hit him, and yeah, it's a full wipe. Good job. Smooth sailing. Yeah, so we went 0-2-3, now we're 3-2-7. It's going much, much better now. We'll get this Onis here, so that's that mitigations aspect. That does stack with our passives, so our passive at max stacks, which obviously is just whenever we're ethereal like this, is 16% mits of each. And that is a 12% when we're around 3 people. Now, people know that there's a damage mitigation cap in this game. That's 25%. You see 16%, you see 12%. Obviously, that seems like it's overcapping, but the mitigations cap is actually only from items, so our passive doesn't factor in on that. So we do have a true 28%. We can only get 25% mits from items, but anything from passives or abilities or stuff like that does not transfer over. So we are good to go right now. That's more so just to prevent like sigil builds with Cloak and Onis from being like super OP. And they're still really good, but yeah, so it doesn't factor in this Osiris build at all. I'm thinking right now, do I want to go that Pridwin or do I not want to? There's a big movement right now with ADCs going either Shifters or Fatalis because the idea is like they can kite and be tankier and blah blah blah. I don't honestly think the builds are as good as people make them out to be because I don't have maybe the full commit one-shot kill potential that I can normally have into this ADC because of his build. But I also don't really care because if he's not doing enough damage to me, I'm like just fine, right? And I feel like him doing damage is way more important than me doing damage, and I can just sort of survive in my passive stand in front of him. We're going to make a rotation over here, and I understand he is behind, but it's just kind of to prove a point. We're getting hit for 55 right now. Yeah, 62. So, like, I mean, come on. Yeah, like, I don't know. I just, like, I'm really not too fond of the builds. It's the same idea with Fatalis. Like, if people really build super tanky into you, you're so weak for a long period of time. Now, if you're playing Freya, you're playing Kronos, like, that's kind of core on those characters. Like, if you're going an auto-tech build with Kronos at least. So I understand that. But some of these hunters, I really don't think it's necessary or even, like, that good. It's definitely okay, but when people are like, let's nerf Fatalis and stuff or remove it, I think that's super silly. Just, like, kind of stupid, honestly. It's also just fun, you know what I mean? And Fatalis was never... When Fatalis used to be in the game, it was never, like, bad for the game. It wasn't even really a good item. It was only, like, used by Freya, and I think it kind of ruined Duel, honestly, but, like, I don't know. Like, they've shown at this point, especially, they're okay with just removing stuff for Duel only or something. So if that's a needed thing, by all means. But to me, it's always just been, like, a pretty, like, niche item that was really good on Freya, really good on Kali, and that was about it. Which is fine. Like, I think it's cool. I love when there's items that, like, only a couple characters use and they use it really well. I think that's just, like, good build variety. And it's just interesting to me. Rather than, like, everybody building the same stuff every time. Same idea with, like, stone cutting being back and being really good on, like, Erlang and Osiris jungle and stuff, but not really much else. It's just cool to me. Anyways, though, we have enough for a starter. We'll be able to go get that next time we back, which is going to be right now. I also want to upgrade my TP. Could just naturally let it stack, but as you see, there's a right fight going on, so we're going to TP to that camp, not the other one, just because I don't want them to intercept and break the ward, and this should be a very, very easy pick. As you see, this Shifter Shield Hoi doesn't hurt too bad. We're going to get pulled here, but this is all okay. Ults after, and he is just dead. This is beads down on him. Get the slow off now. He's going to get Pridwin slowed as well, and this should be a kill in just a moment. Nice job. Elf Frost the Goat. I'm going to back up here a little bit. Not sure how much Phoenix damage we actually have. I missed my slow. That is not good. Alright, we have to bounce. Poor guy. It's alright, we'll get a mid Phoenix here. We'll split, which is obviously cool. If she was right, we'd probably get kills. If she wasn't, then we get that. So you're happy either way. Yeah, now's our chance, or our choice. We only have tier 1 totem actually, so I guess we haven't really been getting them. I don't know. I don't think I need Pridwin. I think that might be a little too much. It's not even that it's a bit too much, but it's probably just not needed. I think Spear Robe's a little bit more rounded for us this game because, like, looking at their comp, they do have, like, Sylvanas. Like, they have a lot of hard CC, especially with Nuwa Hoi. A lot of when you go items like Spear Robe is you kind of think about, okay, how are the fights going to play out? Well, I'm going to get stunned by their backline. Normally backliners don't have stuns, but this game I'm going to get stunned by them, so that's, you know, immediate hurt CC on the Nuwa and the Hoi, and then you're going to get kind of like, in theory, popped. Now, I don't think we can ever get popped this game, but Spear Robe is just going to give us more mits to make sure that doesn't happen. And again, those mits are going to be factoring in towards our ability or item-based mits and not towards our ability-based. So when we get CC'd or whatever, excuse me, we'll have like 38% mits around people in our passive, which will obviously be having those both conditionals met, and it'll be good. But yeah, this is why I'm a Shifters hater for ADC. Like, I don't need to kill him, you know what I mean? So I don't care that he has more defense. He just doesn't do damage. Awesome. Nice. Okay. We have 2 picks. Normally you go fire, but because we're all right side, going just for like a straight Phoenix push is definitely a great idea. So we'll just kind of run at the Nuwa. She just used her ult, obviously, so Doesn't really have any self-peel. I don't ever need to kill her on this dive. I just need to keep her from comboing my teammates. If I get comboed, that's kind of the objective, honestly, and I'll be fine as long as I have... Oh, we're not going right. Okay, never mind. So we're going to just go to fire. But that's sort of the idea in these split fights. Like, if Nuwa just combos me out, I'm honestly pretty happy with that. As long as, like, I'm not in danger, which I won't be in a split fight, but when the ADC's there, I just need to make sure I, like, have Thorns or something. Remember, Thorns gives you mitigations when you pop it. So that whole time it's around you, you have some mits as well. And that does probably count towards the item thing, so we'll be overcapping a little bit, but like it's still going to get us to 25% when we're not at that yet. So it'll be helpful. And also, like, someone has thorns, you just don't hit them generally. So keeping this guy in combat so you can never blink and just kind of keep him slowed. And yeah, he's in a lot of trouble right now. He is in a lot of trouble. Sold this. So you can see Sundering Axe is really, really good on this god. This is pretty criminal. Poke that guy out, and should be a really free push, right? Just kind of keep like getting Sundering Axe procs on people. If we keep the other people in combat and at least distracted, like, yeah, he's just gonna get popped, so that was kind of the goal. If you can't, like, in those spots, if you can keep the Cuckoo from blinking, great. But if you can't, just get on the other people, and that's how you peel your backline, right? You don't even have to get on them. I'm not committing any type of movement ability, and that's, I think, the biggest thing to learn in solo lane zoning. If you can, like, keep people out and hold your movement ability to jump out yourself, which in this case is our ult, and you just obviously walk backwards, like, we're able to just zone effectively, make them not be able to do damage without actually losing any health. And getting better at that and really, like, understanding when to do that and when to dive is super, super critical to just, like, improving, I think, in this role. So you definitely should not be W keying that much as people think, like this role's supposed to. As I'm walking forward for absolutely no reason. This is just for fun, though. We have really no reason to be here. We can just sleep. These chest camps are up, I think. I have a fun pick, by the way, that I'm going to get a video on, guys, for soon, that I don't think is actually Troll. So it won't be a Troll Tuesdays video. It'll be like an actual video, and I'm super excited for it. Also, by the way, people were saying, hey, are you going to do that #1 Amaterasu thing with Weekend? He actually, like, would be down for it, obviously, so I don't talk to him, but I do remember, like, he said that, I was in his chat, like, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago, something like that, and he told me, like, let him know if I want to do it at some point, so I could do it, and I know it probably would be a good idea, too. It's not that I'm nervous or anything, like, I'm okay with talking to people, that's no problem, so I'll definitely think about it. It would definitely be really cool. We'll get the Spirit Rope here, and yeah, but I'm also, like, about to be #1 on Osiris. Now, the #1 Osiris is SOT, so I feel a little, like, less pressed to get that, because, you know, if the #1, like, player of a solo lane pick is a really good player, like, fine, but the like, listen, with all due respect, and if any of the Masters Borgaramas watch this, I'm sorry, but man, there is, like, you are so slated against you if you have high MMR to get any of the high picks. Like, it's kind of like a super, like, swamp of platinum and gold players that generally have those #1 spots and those top 10 spots, which sucks. I think it's really dumb. Like, I get the idea, like, yeah, it's a little more inclusive that way, but your #1, like, person on the character, it should be combined them having a good win-loss, but also, like, a higher rank should matter more. Because if you're winning a lot of games and you're just playing the character a lot and you're in, like, silver, like, that's not a good indication of anything, in my opinion, right? And God leaderboards didn't come out until I was already in Masters, but before that, if they had gotten introduced and I was in, like, Platinum and I got #1, I used to be an ADC, and I had, like, the #1 Uller or something, because I played that character a lot, I'd feel really stupid. You know what I mean? So I just think it's kind of silly. But nonetheless, Donkey Yonki is going to get popped. The Donkey Yonki arc on this channel has been incredible, but fortunately he's the enemy this game. He falls down. Quinn goes down too. Hou Yi is falling apart at the seams, and Titan here, with us still being at full health, looks likely. Didn't really need to do a lot of commentary on that fight because there wasn't much happening except domination. So nice. Yeah, good stuff. This build is solid. Definitely would recommend it. You know, the phalanx was a mistake, but it wasn't like a bad mistake. Those items look so similar in the tier ones, and I'm still like thinking, hey, it should be on that tree, and it's not. But yeah, like by all means, you can just kind of go that and feel fine. But if you didn't want to go phalanx because you realize, like me, that was a bit silly, you just go into Phoenix Shield, Shifter Shield, Oni's Binding, Spirit Robe, and you'll be happy. Now, one more question that people will ask, so I'm just going to answer ahead of time. I know someone's going to ask it anyways. What if they go crit? If they go crit and you had a build like this that I have right now, you just sell Phalanx for Spectral. If you had the other build where you went Phoenix Shield, Shifter Shield, Oni's, and you saw them going crit, you'd probably go Spirit Robe and then go Spectral last and not go Binding effectively. So those are options you can go and feel pretty good. But generally speaking, on this character, especially because you have mitigations and Oni Hunters and you have it in your passive and stuff, you can actually build into crit characters without Spectral and feel pretty okay. I'm not saying that you should, but like if you're in a pinch like this and then all of a sudden this Hou Yi went like a last item Deathbringer, you'd be okay. So it isn't a huge concern. Um, Wow, that's funny. Okay, well, thank you guys for watching. As always, have a wonderful Friday, and I will see you guys sometime soon. Peace.